So the top 4 over the Premier League is as hot as it can be, with anyone in the top 8 still dreaming of Champions League football. But who's going to make their strides this coming weekend? We'll take a little look next. That's right, folks. Back once again with another prediction video today. We're looking forward to match number 24, I believe, or maybe 25, depending on where you are in the world. Of course, in the Premier League, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe button, keep your bang up to date with all things Premier League related, Club and Rose related, world football related. We got it all here, boys. Under one Ruski, that's right. Of course, Man City may be running away with the league, and of course, but teams beneath them, including Liverpool, still have games in hand. But what about Spurs? Maybe even Wolves still got outside aspirations of making top 4. Goodness gracious me. We'll have a look at all of it in a minute. Of course, big shout outs to the VIPs, guys. Big shout out to you guys. Thank you for your love behind the scenes. If you want to help us out in another regard, check that out down below, from as little to as much as you like. Check it all out in the old patronage. So here we go then, of course, recap of what's gone on pre-Feb, of course, the transfer window slammed shut and all that jazz. But what went on last time around? Of course, Burnley against Watford. We'll do that again. In fact, we're going to do it again in a minute. Of course, it was postponed last time out. Brighton picked up a monster result against Chelsea, 1-1 in the end. Leicester City, Spurs was the game of the day. 3-2 winners for Spurs on the road. Brentford got beat by Manchester United, of course, slowly but surely getting some results in, aren't they? 3-1 win for them in the end. Palace did get beat by Liverpool 3-1 in the end. Arsenal could only muster a draw against them six-fingered freaks. Burnley, Brentford, 2-1 loss against Wolves on at home as well. Shocker there. Chelsea disposed of Spurs 2-0 in the end. Everton, of course, no Rafa no more, but of course Stevie Gerrard's causing the problems. Still with a 1-0 win in the end. Southampton picked up a monster result against Manchester City, 1-1 in the end. Ranieri's last game was a 3-0 loss against Norwich. Of course, they've since hired Roy Hodgson is here, and hopefully trying to turn it around for them as well. Leeds did get beat at home by Newcastle, monster result for them at the foot of the table. Leicester could only muster a draw against Brighton. Meanwhile, Manchester United also picked up a 1-0 win over West Ham to give themselves a big week this past week to set up this right here, right now. Of course, as you can see, it is looking very, very spicy at the top of the table. Manchester City running away with it, of course. Liverpool are in a second spot, 48 points. Chelsea a third. That seems to be the tail of the tape there. Of course, those three realistically are the ones in the title race. However, the race for top 4 is incredibly wide open. You could even possibly extend it to Brighton if you wanted to, but realistically, I don't think so. I think it's Wolves, Spurs, Arsenal, West Ham, Man United, all in that heat for 4th spot. Leicester City, of course, games in hand though on the likes of West Ham. If they win all 3 of those, technically they could be in 30, 29, 32, 35 points, 35. So they could still also realistically be in anyone's guess with all the rat shit that is the COVID issues. And of course, down the foot of the table, who knows? Will Burnley go down? They are bottom right now, but of course they've got 4 games, maybe 5 games on the likes of Brentford. Win all those, they will be on to 28 points. And they'll be way up the table. Anyway, so just don't look into it too much just yet. It's more like one of them 3D things. You've got to stare at them a while before it takes into shape. Let's take a look at, of course, the prediction league for this past week. And Alec M and Tom Stainer getting 8. Well done to you. And a lot of points on the board as well. And, of course, big shout out to the Patreons, of course, kicking ass and taking in. Let's take a look at, of course, the leaderboard for this half of the season. We have a leader. We have 2 leaders. It's Alec M and, of course, Vinny Hong kicking ass and taking names. Shepherd not too far away either. Well done to you. If there's any double names in there, let me know. Let's take a look at the predictor of the month. Of course, we are in a new month now, February. Now, the predictor of the month is the person or the persons who accumulated the most points over the course of the last month, which was January. A bit of a weird month as well, a bit of a staggered month. Of course, you can win multiple months, and of course, there can be multiple winners. At the end of the season, one of those multiple winners will win the predictor of the month award. Of course, this is the winner for the month of January for Premier League. Who is it? Is it Mon? Is it 2? Is it 4? It is 2. Nanakem and Rascallion picking up the predictor of the month for the month of January. So well done to you. You guys, of course, go into the draw at the end of the season, and one of those people will win a $10 gift card for something. It might be for the Blackburn Overseas merch. Now, I'm only joking. That's something for next time around, though. Anyway, Predictor of the Month award. Those are the ones that have won so far. Let's take a look at, of course, the Master Leaderboard. Now, this is available to patrons at any old time. But, of course, the winner at the minute is Nanakem with 103 points on the board. It is very, very incredibly tight here. You're probably looking at the top 20, top 25, realistically are still in with it. Probably the top 30 have a shot at the title still. So anyways, it's quite spicy. There's no runaway leader. There's still a lot to be decided for. It could even go down to the bloody last game of the season. Of course, getting amongst it. Of course, a big shout out to the patrons. Much support for those guys. Much love as well. Do love you guys for the channel support. The channel loves you back. So anyway, get amongst it. Of course, if you want to become a patron, check out the link down below. Of course, Cutley4/Premier League is the one to go though for your predictions. Free to enter. Good bit of fun. Let's see who's going to win this time around. So we're going to start it off with the Brucey bonus match. That's of course Burnley up against Watford, and of course it'll be Roy ex-Rovers manager. We're all Roy on this one to hopefully get Watford a big win against Burnley at Turd Moor. That's right. So let's take a look at it on the 5th of Feb. This might be FA Cup day, right? I think this might be FA Cup day. Is that right? When are these games taking place? Oh, it's midweek games. Wow. Played each other 35 times since 1994, of course. 16 wins for Burnley, 10 wins for Watford. And we've got 9 draws, of course. Burnley coming to this, though, without a win in at least 6 games. Meanwhile, Watford also without a win in at least 6 games. Last time out, Turd Moor was a 1-win for Burnley. In fact, Burnley unbeaten in the last 3 games against Watford. In fact, they haven't scored a goal. They haven't conceded a goal against Watford in the last 3 occasions. Meanwhile, though, Arsenal have picked up a draw against Burnley last time around. Watford did pick up a loss against Norwich last time around. I have odds on this one. The odds are 23-20 for your Burnley, 25 is your win. That's Watford, and of course 94 is your draw. Roy's here. I'm always going to do something of a job, a 0-0 draw in the end to start this campaign without a loss. That's okay. We'll take that from you, Roy. Meanwhile, moving forward into Thursday, February the 10th. Now, these games are, of course, stretching from that Saturday the 5th all the way through to Thursday the February the 10th, of course. So Wolves up against Arsenal. Let's get into this one then, shall we? At the Molineux. Played each other 16 times, 2003. 3 wins for Wolves. We've got 10 wins for Arsenal. We've got 3 draws. Of course, Arsenal just 1 win and 6 for them, 33% form right now up against the Wolves side. Unbeaten in the last 6 games, picking up 5 wins in the past 6, 92% form. They are slowly but surely grinding here. Wolves, of course, looking to get themselves back into Europe for the first time in a couple of years. Meanwhile, last time over at Molineux was a 2-1 win for Wolves. That was back in February 2021. Around about this time last season. They haven't played each other, of course, so far this season. Wolves coming to us on the back of 4 wins on the bounce, of course, and just 2 goals conceded at the last 6 games. Goodness gracious me. Arsenal coming to this on the back of a 0-0 draw. In fact, they haven't scored in the last 4 games, Arsenal. A bit of a goal scoring problem for them right now. Last time around, though, in fact, not last time around, of course, bookies odds 25 is your Wolves, 23-20 is your Arsenal, 11-5 is your draw. This is tight, airtight. Going to go with the 1-win for Wolves here. A bit of a shocker, perhaps, but Wolves are grinding slowly but surely. Man City up against Brentford, of course, over at the FE app. Played each other just the 1 time since 2021, and it was a win for Man City. We'll elaborate on that in a minute. 92% form for Man City. That's, of course, 5 wins in the past 6. Meanwhile, Brentford, of course, 4 defeats on the spin for them, 33% form. They are, of course, I believe it. I am recording this on the 26th of January. They may or may not have signed Christian Eriksen, so that could be his debut. Of course, they played each other at Brentford back in December. It was a 1-0 win for Man City. Man City came to us on the back of a draw against Southampton. Of course, Brentford picked up a loss against Wolves last time around. Look at the odds though for this one. 10-1 on is your Man City. 70-2 is your draw. 22-1 is your Brentford on this one. Of course, Man City will win this one. 3-0 win. Eriksen effect. Nothing in this one. Supposed to be Brighton up against Chelsea, but of course they already played. They already bloody played. It was a 1-1 draw, wasn't it? So let's move on to the next one, which of course will be Norwich. Dean Smith's Norwich against Crystal Palace, of course, with Patrick Vieira at the dugout. Played each other 38 times since 1994, 8 wins for Norwich, 19 wins for Crystal Palace, and 11 draws. Of course, just 1 defeat the past 4 games for Norwich. They've won 3 out of the past 4. Up against Crystal Palace, they've just won 1 to the past 4, 42% form for them right now. Last time around, of course, at Carrow it was a 1-1 draw. That was back on New Year's Day 2020. They also played each other at Selhurst Park back in, of course, December. It was a 3-0 win for Palace. Palace, though, haven't lost against Norwich in a long time, in the last 6 anyway. The last loss was a 1-0 loss to Norwich at Carrow back in 2013 in the Premier League. Norwich coming into this on the back of a 3-0 win over Watford. Of course, meanwhile, Palace pick up a 3-1 loss against Liverpool. Look at the odds on this one. 5-2 is your Norwich, 11-10 on is your 11-10 is your Crystal Palace, 94 is your draw. I'm actually backing Norwich on this one. 2-1 win for them to keep their season alive and maybe put the likes of Newcastle, Watford in a bit of trouble as well. Speaking of Newcastle, they're taking on Everton. Of course, Duncan Ferguson is at the helm for the time being up against the Geordies with Eddie Howe. Played the 53 times since 1993, 20 wins for Newcastle, 22 wins for Everton, and 11 draws. Just 1 win and 6 though for Newcastle, 33% form up against Everton side, just 1 win and 6 for them, 25% form for them right now. Last time around, of course, over at St James's Park was a 2-1 win for the Geordies. That's back in November 2020. They also played at Goodison Park not too long ago. It was a 2-0 win for Newcastle at Everton. So they actually just played each other quite recently. In fact, that was last year. What am I talking about? That was last season. Get a grip, mate. Meanwhile, Newcastle picked up a 1-0 over Leeds last time around. Of course, Everton picked up a loss against Aston Villa last time around. Look at the odds though for this one. Then shall we? here. 64 on is your 64 is your Newcastle. 70-10 is your Everton. 25 is your draw. Can Big Dunk turn things around on this one? I don't think so. I think 2-0 for Newcastle. They're going to bring in some big boys over the next couple of days. I am recording this on the back end of Jan. Transfer window is still open, but I do anticipate the side that will start against Everton to be much changed than the one that ended in their last game as well. Aston Villa taking on Leeds United. That'll be over at Villa Park this coming on the 9th of Feb. Played 30 times since 94, 10 wins apiece and 10 draws. Just 1 win and 5 though for Aston Villa at the moment, 42% form. Up against the Leeds side, 1-2, lost 2, and the last 4, 33% form right now. Last round at Villa Park was the 3-0 win for Leeds. That's back in October 2020. They also played each other this season. Oh, sorry, that's not last season. It's probably last season, that's right. So 3-0 win for Leeds last time around at Villa Park. That was, of course, last season, 2020. They've not played each other originally this season, so this is their first time locking horns. Good. This COVID stuff is making me all right, old mess. Anyway, Villa picking up a 1-0 win over Everton last time around. Of course, Newcastle picking up a 1-0 win over Leeds last time around. Look at the odds though for this one. 11-10 on is your Villa. 11-4 is your draw. 13-5 is your Leeds. Of course, going to back now Aston Villa here. 3-1 win. Leeds not out of the woods just yet. Meanwhile, Liverpool up against Leicester. Of course, 2 former Premier League winners locking horns on Thursday, February the 10th. Played each other 34 times in 94. 18 wins for Liverpool, 10 wins for Leicester, and 6 draws. Liverpool winning 4 of the past 5 to 83% form. Up against the Leicester side, just 1 defeat of the past 4. 42% form for them right now. Last time around over at Anfield was a 5-4 win for Liverpool in the quarterfinals of the EFL Cup. That was penalties. Meanwhile, of course, last time they played each other in the league, and it was a 3-0 for Liverpool back in November 2020. They did play each other this season in the Premier League. It was at Leicester. It was a 1-0 win for Leicester back in, of course, 28th of December 2021. Liverpool are picking up a 3-1 win over Crystal Palace last time around. Leicester picking up a 1-1 draw against Brighton. Look at the odds for this one then, shall we? We have Leicester to 7-2. Sorry, so we have Liverpool 7-2 on for the Ricci. 5-1 is your draw. 50-2 is your Leicester for this one. Liverpool, though, will win this one. 4-2 win. Goals galore, though. Goals are plenty on this one. Then we have the Freaks. That's right, is the Freaks up against the other Freaks. That is Manchester United, of course. Played each other at Turb Moor. 16 times they played each other. 2002, 2 wins for Burnley, 10 wins for Man United, and 4 draws. Of course, Burnley without a win in at least 6 games. They won't win here against Watford either. Man United, though, coming to just 1 defeat the past 6 games, 75% form for them right now. Last round, of course, over at Turb Moor was a 1-0 win for Manchester United. In fact, Man United have actually won 3 of the past 3. Of course, scoring 7 goals compared to Burnley's 2 over the course of those 3 games. Coming at you, though, Burnley did draw with Arsenal last round. Man United picked up a 1-0 win over West Ham last round. Look at the odds for this one then. Burnley 92 for the victory, 7-4 on is United, of course, 3-1 is your draw. So United red hot favourites for the win here. I make it a tight game, 2-1 win though for Manchester United in the end. Spurs, they will kick on forward up against Southampton on Wednesday, February the 9th. And now these two sides have played each other 46 times, 93, 24 wins for Spurs, 14 wins for Southampton, and 8 draws. 3 wins, 3 defeats in the past 6 games for Spurs right now, 50% form. Up against the Southampton side, just lost once in the past 6 games, 67% form as well. Last time round over at the Fancy Pants Stadium was a 2-1 win for Spurs. That was back in April 2021. They also played each other this season at St Mary's. That was, of course, back at the end of December. It was a 1-1 draw down at Southampton. Spurs did lose to Chelsea 2-0 last time around. Southampton picking up a monstrous 1-1 draw against Manchester City. The odds though for this one go in favour of Spurs. 13-8 on is your Tottenham on this one. 40-5 is draw, and of course 92 is your Wayman. That's Southampton. Going to go with the bookies here. 3-0 win for Spurs, and who knows, they may have picked up a couple of signings as well heading into this one. West Ham, they're going to be taking on Watford, of course, on Tuesday, February the 6th. February the 8th. Played each other 23 times since 1999. 12 wins for West Ham, 7 wins for Watford, and 4 draws. Back-to-back defeats though for West Ham right now. 67% form. Up against the Watford side, of course, who haven't won in the last 6 games. There'll be 7 as well, including the draw against the Freaks. Last round, of course, at London Stadium was a 3-1 win for West Ham. That was back in July 2020. They also played at Vicarage Road back in the end of August. That was a 4-1 win for West Ham. West Ham have actually won 4 in the spin against Watford, and they'll look to make it 5 this time around. However, they come into this on the back of a loss against Manchester United. Meanwhile, Watford come into this on the back of a loss against Norwich and a draw against Burnley, in my eyes. Anyway, look at the odds for this one then, shall we? What do we have? We have 5-2 on is your West Ham, 4-1 is your draw. 11-2 is your away win. That is Watford. Goodness gracious me. I'm going to go with a win for Hammers here. 2-1 win. Roy yet to get a win in his first 2 games. That's, of course, my take on it. Be sure to get your take in as well using the link, cut.4/Premier League. And again, if you want to support the channel in another way, you can become a patron, but also you could also step forward and be part of the channel itself. You could become a presenter, producer, content creator, graphics designer, whatever it is. If you want to be a part of the stuff here, there is a way. There is some chance to make a bit of money here as well. But we could talk about that off camera, one-on-one. If you are interested in supporting the channel and becoming part of that brand of the Overseas Avengers, get involved with me down below. I look forward to having a chat with you. But until then, guys, that's all I've got for you. Smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. Of course, hitting the old thumbs up button does wonders for the algorithm. I really appreciate it. But until then, guys, I'll see you soon for the next one in a very, very busy week over in the Premier League.